Hi, everyone. My name is Jacob Pelagian. I'm a volunteer at the Los Angeles County Bar Association's AIDS Legal Services Project, and I'm joined here by Sarah Pazeshkapour, who's a disability rights attorney and disability rights advocate, working in the disability rights arena for over a decade now. We're here today to speak to you about some of the vulnerable subpopulations within the disability community. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Jacob. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. So in this video, we will address a few more of the vulnerable subpopulations within the broader disability community and how they might experience discrimination in a healthcare setting. As an organization, the AIDS Legal Services Project recognizes the intersectionality of poverty, racism, and gender politics. And while we can't address every single issue, we'll do our best to briefly speak to some of the more harshly affected communities. A quick disclaimer before we get started. This guide is intended to provide you with accurate and general information regarding legal rights, and it's current as of August 1st, 2020. It's not intended to give you specific legal advice about your particular situation. If you have questions or need legal advice about a specific case, please contact an attorney or the appropriate agency about your rights.
At the last count, there were nearly 70,000 people who are unhoused in the Los Angeles County, and the crisis is only expected to get worse during the current COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the economic depression that our country is experiencing. Clearly, there are enormous challenges faced every single day by people who do not have permanent shelter, where just accessing food and a safe place to sleep are a constant struggle, making it particularly difficult if you're living with a disability as well to access medical services. The first thing to do for self-advocacy is to apply for any public benefits you may be entitled to, particularly SSI and Medi-Cal. If you have a serious and permanent disability and are not receiving public benefits, there's also a countywide benefits entitlement services team known as CBEST that's designed to help homeless people apply for SSI and Medi-Cal benefits. If you are on Medi-Cal already, this will greatly enhance your access to health and mental health care. We have some resources on our slide and companion PDF. We hope that you check them out. Regardless of insurance coverage, you're still entitled to the same protections and access as all people living with a disability. This includes shelters, which must also make reasonable accommodations for your disability, allow service and assistance animals, provide you with safe storage space for your personal possessions, and they must be available in different geographic areas. There are also public hospitals and clinics throughout the Los Angeles County, as well as numerous nonprofit organizations to help you navigate your medical care, mental health, substance use issues, including syringe exchange, and recovery and addiction services. The LA City Department on Disability can be a great place to start, as they have many connections to community organizations, and they can also intervene if you're having a disability-related access issue with a shelter that receives funding from the city.
The next topic that we'd like to address is prisons. If you or someone you know is an individual living with a disability and is also incarcerated, there are still civil rights that protect you and make sure that you get an equal level of accessible care. If you are incarcerated and living with a disability, or you know someone who is, you should not be subject to inadequate medical care. In fact, prisoners with disabilities should receive equal access to facilities, programs, and services. If you require a mobility device while incarcerated, such as a wheelchair, crutches, walkers, or canes, you should be provided with them upon request. Wheelchair access and grab bars should also be provided to those who need them in all areas of the prison, not just common areas and restrooms, but also prison cells, recreation areas, cafeterias, and showers. You may also suffer discrimination because you are denied access to jail programs and services, including those that might reduce your time served. This may be a violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, California and federal laws, as well as the 8th and 14th Amendments of the Constitution. If you are an incarcerated individual living with a disability that affects your mental health, you should be provided with access to appropriate mental health treatment and care. Your access to assessment, treatment, and when necessary, referral to other clinicians because of your mental disorders, including substance abuse, should be an integral part of general health services that are available to all prisoners. As you may have already guessed, advocating for the civil rights of people who are incarcerated can be especially challenging. We've provided some links to agencies who specialize in this kind of advocacy in our companion PDF. If this is an area of concern for you or someone you know, you may find help through the ACLU Jail Project, the Center for Health Justice, and you may be able to find resources for state prisoners at the Prison Law Office.
People living with HIV continue to face high levels of discrimination, including in healthcare settings. Unfortunately, specialty care doctors in particular continue to deny care, segregate patients, make unjustified referrals, or otherwise take unnecessary and sometimes humiliating safety precautions, including gynecologists, anesthesiologists, dentists, and those that perform elective surgery procedures. Remember, HIV is considered a disability regardless of symptoms, and as someone living with HIV, you are covered under the same federal and state anti-discrimination laws that we've discussed, such as the ADA. In short, this type of discriminatory behavior against people living with HIV is illegal. If you feel that you've been discriminated against by your clinician or healthcare provider because of your HIV diagnosis, you may be able to file a complaint and even seek recovery for any damage the discrimination has caused you. Additionally, your HIV status is a part of your protected health information. Because of persistent stigma around HIV and disability, it's particularly important to safeguard this information, and medical providers should be held to the highest standard when it comes to keeping your diagnosis private. This means that your healthcare provider cannot release or discuss your diagnosis with your employer or family members without your consent. That's the end of our video. Thank you for watching. We'd like to invite you to check out some of our other videos for more information about reasonable accommodations in a healthcare setting, communication, privacy, and information on where to file your discrimination complaint. Thanks for watching.